विभुजी महाराज की जय, भगवान की जय।
यहाँ तो ज्यादा प्लेजेंट है फिनिक्स। हाँ, यहाँ गर्मी नहीं है, जैसे यहाँ धूप नहीं चली गई यहाँ एकदम अच्छा। रात को मतलब 5-6 बजे भी एकदम के नियम में भी अच्छा
है जी। आप लोग
बिग फैमिली मॉम है। अच्छा,
इसने मेरे को कहा था हमारे बाबा सबके लिए बुलाओ। इसका भाई राम
क्या है? उता दिन ना त्यो
सबसे बड़ी बारी ये है फर्स्ट
बड़े भैया
सेकंड महिला
महिला
खोइ लछु
अहिले आउँदैछ
और भैया थी सबसे छोटा कांचा कांची
5 भाई। कांचा कांची को तो भाई बहन भी कहते हैं ना।
छोटा सबसे कांचा
छोरा छोरी
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 लड़की को बोलता है
जाट है।
भाई भाई था सबसे छोटा
6 महीना होगा भाई।
भगीरथ जी ने अपने सब बच्चों को बड़ा किया। इनकी वाइफ नहीं है।
बताया
इन्होंने शादी नहीं करी, भगवान जी से शादी करी है। फिर वो ऐसे के प्यार करते हैं।
फर्स्ट टाइम में भाई जी आएगा तुम और जानते ना हिंदी
नेपाली बोलो महाराज जी से
3 वर्ष तक रोके रहा है। अभी तो हमारे मिला
महाराज जी की कृपा होगा। भाई जी इस साल में 3 छुट्टी
महाराज जी नेपाली
हम तो बचपन से नेपाल जाते थे, श्री माता जी के टाइम से। माता जी ने तो नेपाल में और सिक्किम में कितना प्रचार किया श्री माता जी ने।
सिलगढी प्रोग्राममा महाराजको कृपा हुन्थ्यो। जहिले पनि सिलगढीमा गएर हामी यहाँ अमेरिका आएपछि बहुत मन दुःख हुँदैन। अब महाराजी का दर्शन मिल्दैन। अमेरिका भाइजी सन्त महात्मा 2 वर्ष रहेर बस्नु, तर महाराजीको कृपा भयो मलाई सबै कुरो सदा कति खुसी लागेको छ अहिले। अब हामीलाई महाराजीलाई अब दर्शन
जी मैं बताऊं,
बहुत खुसी हो।
इंडिया में भी ऐसी ऐसी जगह है, ऐसे ऐसे आश्रम है जहाँ हम आज तक नहीं थे। मतलब 30 साल हो गए हमें और 30 साल में एक बार भी नहीं गए। क्योंकि बड़े जगह प्रोग्राम होते हैं तो सब लोग प्रेमी लोग वहाँ आ जाते हैं। तो कितनी जगह ऐसी है जहाँ हम आज तक नहीं गए, तो यहाँ तो इतनी जल्दी आ गए।
जल्दी
क्योंकि आप 3 आए, उसके 3 साल में हम यहाँ आ गए।
दर्शन होगा सब कुछ। भाइजीलाई हामी दुःख भाइजीसँग कुरा गऱ्यौँ, सबै कुरो
3 साल में दर्शन हो गए, कितना जल्दी दर्शन। और इतना पास में वहाँ होते तो दूर से सब भागो।
मेरे साल भी भाई जी तो बोला था ना तुम लोग प्रोग्राम करो, हम लोग इतना तैयारी नहीं थे।
एकदम खुसी छौँ महाराज जी।
नहीं भाई जी, सितंबर में भी आएंगी। सितंबर में उपदेश देने ना, फिर आप रखना प्रोग्राम।
अभी तो भाई जी 2 महीना 3 महीने में आते रहना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो इन लोग मारेंगे मेरे काम लोग। जिज्ञासु बहुत बनाए ना, जिज्ञासु बहुत बने ना अभी। मारेगा इन लोग क्यों डांटता है हम लोग को? तुम लोग ज्ञान देंगे बोल के सबको बोला, ज्ञान मिलता है बोलता है। क्रिश्चियन लोग तो आज बोलने से कार ले जाएगा ना, यही तो है। हम लोग को क्यों, तुम लोग को क्यों देरी कर रहे हैं? हम ऐसे बोला सत्संग सुनना पड़ेगा, सत्संग सुनना पड़ेगा।
सत्संग भी रख लेना और ज्ञान भी दे देना।
कोई बात नहीं।
सबके घर में रात को सत्संग कर लेंगे।
त्यो नानी ले लेता, हाम्रो नानी यता छ।
ध्यान करें से मालिक कृपा हुआ, गुरु महाराज जी का सुनकर बहुत खुशी हुआ।
आओ महाराज जी आओ आओ यता जय श्री मतलब भन्छ त जय श्री
अब भाई जी आपके घर में आए हैं, सुबह से उन्हें कुछ नहीं खाया है, उन्हें खाना खिलाओ।
2 साल में भाई जी आए, घास खाएगा,
नहीं घास सब्जी
सपिङ गर्नु जाँदाखेरि भाइजी नै आफै जाएर आफै
कान्छी त्यो भेन्डी बाइजीलाई भनेको हामीले उही पुऱ्याउनु पर्छ है। आरती आरती बनाउनु होइन,
आरती वहीं करेंगे, आरती वहीं करेंगे।
हम लोग बोला है हमारे जी का यहीं पे करेंगे थोड़ा। हाँ ऐसे बनाओ, ऐसे तुम्हें वो दुआ करेंगे।
बन्दना मात्रै
वो कहीं और ले गए हमें, दूसरी कॉफी शॉप।
हम दूसरा साइड आके इंतजार किए।
अच्छा
स्टारबक्स हैन त कफी
कॉफी नहीं, अभी कर लेंगे, पहले प्रोग्राम
घुमाउनु ल बजार गुणा मार्दा श्री सद्गुरु महाराज की जय, विभूजी महाराज की जगत जननी श्री माता जी की जय, हंस गुरु महाराज की जय, सनातन धर्म की ध्यानमूलम गुरुरमूर्ति पूजा मूलम गुरु पादुका मंत्रमूलम गुरुरवाक्य मोक्षमूलम गुरुरकृपा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देव महेश्वरा गुरुर् साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। पिता तुमेव बन्धुश्च सखा तुमेव तुमेव विद्या द्रविणं तुमेव तुमेव सर्वा मम देव देव तुमेव सर्वा मम देव देव तुमेव सर्वा मम देव देव कर्पूर करुणा अवतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवामि सहितं नमामि भवं भवामि सहितं नमामि भवं भवामि सहितं नमामि। आज भी तेरी आस रहे प्रभु, कल भी तेरी आस, घड़ी घड़ी तेरी आस रहा प्रभु। चरण पर महिला सकल द्वार छोड़ के आए प्रभु तेरे द्वार। शरण पर राखी लज्जा श्री महाराज। चरणारविंद गोविंद नमामि गुरुदेवं शरणं गुरुदेवं नमामि। भवभाव्य भावं त्रैतापरूपं भयभवनाशं गुरुदेवं नमामि। अरण्यं वरण्यं सुरेशं रमेशं त्रैदेवरूपं गुरुदेवं नमामि। न जानामि जापं न जानामि ध्यानं पशुपातरूपं गुरुदेवं नमामि। श्री आनंद कंद भगवान की जय। निधिनाथ आप अपने सुदामय पतित पावन अहित कृपा से मानव मात्र के जय में विश्व बंधुता विश्व शांति की उद्धार मानव को जीवित करे, जिससे वे सुख दुख के बंधन से मुक्त हों। आपके पवित्र प्रेम का आस्वादन कर कृतकृत हो जाए, प्रभु धन्य धन्य हो जाए। श्री सद्गुरु महाराज की जय। राजेश्वरी कणमय श्री माता जी की जय। माता श्री अमृता जी की जय। श्री हंस जी गुरु महाराज की जय। विभुजी महाराज की जय। श्री आनंद कंद भगवान की जय। श्री सद्गुरु महाराज की जय।
खाना खिलाउनु पर्छ भाइजी। That's really amazing to help them like this, because our mission has been working with them ever since they were asked to leave Bhutan 18 years ago. So when they came here, Bhaijji's been here, but it was very difficult to know where everyone is and how they are doing. So this is our opportunity. It's the first time we've come to Tucson, to see how everyone is doing.
Well, it's very nice of you to come to Tucson. I wish it wasn't quite so hot when you were here.
No, that's okay. India, I just felt like home. India is also the same right now, weather-wise.
Well, we might get a little rain for you too.
Well, we were in Phoenix for 2 days. It was much. वही ले लेंगे, वही रख दीजिए।
वही राख्नु पर्छ माथि नै।
टेबल में रखो, टेबल।
वो टेबल नहीं वो खड़ी बाहर बैठ जाएंगे।
नहीं वो वहाँ रख लो ना, जो गिरेगा टेबल पे रख।
वो तो जहाँ से ठीक कर जाए।
it was hotter there, you know.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. As the sun was out for long, at least there's nice cloud cover, so a little bit cooler.
Yeah, it is nice. Well, I know everyone's honored to have you come here to Tucson. Lots of people make it to Phoenix, but not as far as Tucson.
Baiji had visited everyone earlier. Actually, America is very big, you know, and it's very difficult to travel here because most of the people are only free to meet you on the weekends.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
during the week, everyone is very tied up, you know. So we've been traveling for about a month. We've been traveling from London to Canada to Mexico, finally to America. So every time we reach America, we only have like say about a month of travel left because then I have to go back to other activities in India.
Right.
So 4 weeks is very little time in America.
Yeah.
You know, because it's only 4 weekends or 8 holidays.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
you know. So last year also we were planning to come here, but I mean, Baiji had visited Arizona and Tucson, but we were just busy traveling other places in America.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult to, you know, squeeze in the program.
Yeah.
And luckily we got the 4th of July weekend, so we got 2 holidays very close.
That was very good timing, yes. Very good.
Because in India still everyone would get a chance to meet each other, because where the camps were, very close to there was a place called Siliguri. So we still celebrate all our New Years over there with Guru Marajji, Mataji, everyone. So all of them would travel from Nepal and from nearby areas to Siliguri. So I mean, one of the main worries were that, you know, if they would meet anyone of the family again, you know, since coming here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think so all their fears are put to rest now.
So how many states have you been in for this visit?
We just arrived on the 1st to Phoenix from Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So we leave on the 5th from here for California. So we're traveling to Bakersfield, San Francisco, and LMA program. Like we'll fly to LA, then we'll drive to Bakersfield, then to San Francisco, then to Lake Tahoe. Yes, and then from there on the 11th to Orlando, Florida. One of our mission centers is over there. So from there to Delaware, your first city and state.
You'll be seeing a lot of very different parts of the United States. That's just wonderful.
Then to Pittsburgh. Then finally to New York, New Jersey. And then I leave for London, have a few programs in Europe, and then I'll be going home.
Well, that's excellent. That's a good variety of places in the United States to visit. When you came last year, where did you go?
Last year we were traveling around New York, New Jersey side only. Last year I wasn't here for very long.
Oh,
my trip was shorter because one of our main functions of the Guru Purnima, which is basically today we are celebrating at another house. So that was at the end of the month, July. According to the horoscopes, every few years all the programs shift.
Oh, right.
So that's our way of adjusting the leap year in our calendar.
There you go.
So basically last year I was in America for very little time. So we traveled to one of the few places where we've been traveling earlier also. See, this is my 4th year in a row traveling states. Last year we focused more on Canada, Vancouver, Toronto, then Guadalajara, Mexico, and then finally when we came into the States we only could visit a few places. So we went to Pittsburgh, New York, New Jersey.
Just the northeast part.
Yeah, mostly.
Well, that's excellent.
We've done programs in Dallas ages ago, I mean 3 years ago. So all of them had driven down there. They'd come. That was their first year here.
Yeah.
And they were very worried and they were like, you know,
That's a long drive.
I know. So then finally when, you know, now, I mean, to see them change also is so beautiful because now everyone is driving.
Everyone has adjusted very well. And I have to say that the Bhutanese refugees are a very, very hard-working group of people. Nepal and Bhutan are very well represented by the people who are here in Tucson.
True.
Tucson welcomes, I think, a lot of refugees and appreciates the hard work that the Bhutanese refugees. They're very good employees. I know everybody likes working with them.
Because they're very clean from their heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no malice. There's no, other things that the world gets influenced under.
Right. Right.
Because everywhere we go, even in India, we get to see India being a spiritual country, but it lacks a lot of spiritual values right now. Because the world has become a global village.
Absolutely.
So the advantage of it is that for sure, a good thing happening somewhere, also transfers its influence somewhere. But most of the world is fighting, so all that hate also gets transferred very easily.
Unfortunately, that's true. Well, I think Tucson appreciates all of the refugees that we have, and I know that I've enjoyed getting to know everyone here that I've gotten to meet and work with, and they're very good people.
But that's also, I think, so your great heart that has welcomed them here. Because I know from other places also where people were settled, because a lot of people have gone even to Canada and other parts of the country, even Australia,
right,
and other places. And some places it's been difficult for them to adjust, because a completely new culture, completely new place, completely new language.
Yeah.
So unless the people of the place or the locals, make it comfortable for them, it is a very big change. Because it's still for the young people, it's easier to adjust. They'll pick up the language faster. But the elderly people, it's very difficult for them, to change everything.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
way they are, the way they've been taught.
But they still have the basic morals and character that they came here with. There are a lot of the elderly refugees have already started studying for their citizenship test, which is not going to be for 2 years. But since they haven't studied English before, and they need to learn to read and write some, and there's a test, a knowledge test, and they're working very hard on that already. So it's a good thing.
The program is very similar all over, because even in Canada, they have to go for the compulsory classes. And even in Australia, we met a lady, she had 2 sons, and she was there, and she was sent to Perth, which is like one corner of Australia. And our organization functions mostly in Brisbane and Sydney, because of the Indian community being concentrated there,
right.
More. So when she came down and she was just hopeless, she's like, I don't know where God has sent me. And what did I do? So I said, no, like, a lot of things that we do in life is not only for ourselves, but also for the next generation. So maybe it's difficult for you, but your children will get, so much, better, opportunities, to make a better life for themselves. So I was speaking to the children also, I said, don't think that classes are like school over here. Because if you don't do the classes, then there are a lot of things that you won't be, capable of doing.
That's right. Yeah.
So I was very stern with them, and I told them, I said, your mother, it will be difficult for her to learn the language, to get a job, to do anything. But for you, it will be easier. So you should take the step forward, and make sure that you learn the language, do classes. We even encourage them through our organization to do some basic skill courses. Like if someone's good at maths, they can do accounting course, or basically run a software. So at least they can do basic, jobs. Which becomes difficult because for them, they didn't have computers when they were growing up in school, or schools and all.
Yeah.
For here, anyone going to school, getting the education even till 12 is at least well versed in, basic needs of the community.
Right.
You can work behind the counter, you can work behind, anywhere in a grocery store, if you do that.
I can identify with all those people who didn't have computers growing up. We didn't either.
So tomorrow we have a program, and where our vivuji marajji is giving a spiritual discourse. So basically 11 to 2. So you should have no busy schedules and all, I don't share busy. So you're welcome to attend the program.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
I think I'll give the address to the temperature. Yeah. And the location, the venue is, I think, the 5th Street and the other one on the 5th.
Okay.
I'll give yeah. In between 11 to 2.
Okay, well, very good. Thank you.
So basically our motto is to, this, so our gurus and our loves, we regard them as the incarnation of Lord Vishnu's Ram and all. So they impart the spiritual knowledge that you have already indeed, but you don't know. So that having the knowledge, you can attain, you can get enlightenment, you can visualize the God from your heart, you can see light, because a lot of Bibles and talks about light, they just say, but we can experience the light. So that's all we just experience. We can listen to music, all these things. And plus, it's the path, it's the key to open the gateway to the happiness. That's what we believe, and we just do for that. So here's the menu.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
We appreciate your
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we certainly don't want to interrupt your celebration here tonight.
Not at all.
We were very
It
happy.
was really wonderful to meet you.
It was nice meeting you as well.
Because the main goal of our organization is that, that there is an aspect of the human self which sometimes
Yes. Fireworks.
So basically what happens is when we live into this world, sometimes the mind overshadows the heart. And the heart is where the true human spirit resides. See, when we look at the creation and the harmony of this world, and if we are proud of doing something and we say, oh, I'm the doer of any action, then there is a doer of this cosmic action, which we call the supreme creator or the supreme energy, which sustains all life forms. Now what happens is, if we don't realize that supreme energy is also part of us, we are separated in so many ways. And that is the root of what we call ego, in all people. So the more ignorant we are of our true nature, the more the ego has the influence over the mind, and then the mind over rest of our perception of this world. So mind becomes the window to your spirit. But if the mind gets tainted, then the perception also gets tainted. So through certain spiritual techniques, which are Vedic techniques passed on since thousands and thousands of years in the Indian culture and the Sanatan Dharma, it is basically taught that is please. So what is encouraged is that there is a way to live your life in the purity of heart and spirit, and there is a way that every human being can reach the heart again. Now the mind is the aspect of the mind is dual in nature. Everyone is seeking pleasure, no one wants to seek pain. But what our sages and what our masters have taught us from time immemorial is that at the end of the day, duality is also based on a fundamental principle which cannot be divided, which we call Advait, which is beyond duality. Now when you go chasing happiness, somewhere along the shadow of the happiness also lies sadness. So that is why when we go chasing the mind in this world, we always end up suffering. So our sages said there is a world that exists that is beyond the mind, beyond its limitation, beyond its boundaries, beyond its division, because the ego will learn or will teach us to divide in so many ways. And that's what we've done. Like if you see, the creation of the Supreme, the rivers do not ask for a religion. The rivers flow to quench our thirst. Fruits on the tree do not ask, what belief system do we have. They bear their fruit irrespectively and their shade irrespectively for anyone who seeks it. But when you see man with its ego, we have subdivided the world in so many different ways, Forget beliefs, cultures, religion, and within the ego lies suffering. So basically what even he was trying to, the message of our masters or our saints and, the message is not different, Like someone very beautifully said it, truth is simple, but it is the mind that complicates all things, So beyond scriptures, beyond religion, beyond the differences, all the masters, irrespective of what time, and what place they manifested themselves in, their message was of love and peace and harmony. You know, so that love takes us to our consciousness and to the divine consciousness, because we are part of that supreme. You know, but the ego, you know, makes us think that God is separate and we are separate. You know, that's what divides us. You know, so through service to mankind, that's the main motto of our organization, to helping each other, to sort of be there in, you know, good times and bad, you know, from the purity of your heart. If you can do that, then you realize the higher part of yourself, which is anyways a part of you, but it is hidden by, because the mind overshadows everything. The heart says one thing, the mind analyzes it, criticizes it, and the mind seeks its own gratification, you know. So that's what, you know, the service goal is, and, you know, it's, our grandfather started the mission, Sri Hanji Maharaj, and since the 1920s, you know, the mission has been working, and since the 1950s we had a sort of a structure in which the mission came to be known as Manav Dharma, which means the religion of man, you know, and that mission has now spread to more than, you know, in India and Nepal, obviously in all the cities mostly, but then abroad also in 8-9 countries, where the mission's sole objective is, you know, to encourage people to realize their spirit, realize their heart, you know, and function through that. So it's more a way of living, you know, but, you know, things get distorted, you know, if the right message is not delivered, you know. Like a lot of people are encouraged to do yoga here, you know, or yoga, you know. But if you ask someone, why are you doing yoga, they say, oh, I want to become thin, that's why I want to do yoga. Or I want to be more flexible, you know.
Yeah.
But the reason why yoga was created was absolutely completely different, you know. See, our sages believe that the mind is the trickster. It moves so fast, and within the mind's movement means the mind creates desires, wants, needs, you know, and we go chasing fulfilling them, you know. But sometimes when our needs are not fulfilled, what happens is that the mind itself is the creator of all suffering. How? I want something, I cannot achieve it, I get a little in despair, you know. So that's the little bit of the ego's darkness coming inside me. Now if I don't have the ability or the awareness to be aware of that, then that despair will further turn into anger. You know, then I'm angry at the world, you know, or angry at God, that why my desires are not met, why I'm not winning the national lottery and someone else will win. You know, so that's further, if I'm not aware to keep that in check, then that further develops into when I see other people's needs being met, or my desires being fulfilled by other people. You know, like I wanted a car, I couldn't get it, but my neighbor had it.
Right.
So automatically my good neighbor becomes the object of my envy and jealousy. You know, through that anger.
Right.
So slowly what happens is that the mind is creating all these things, but in the end the mind is so subtly working, or the ego is so subtly working, that we start blaming other people, you know, for our own, you know, negativity or the creation of it.
Right.
So awareness is very important, and the awareness comes through, you know, living your life according to certain precepts that have been laid down by the master, you know, certain meditative techniques which help us to calm the mind. So yoga also means chit vritti nirdasya yoga. Anything that removes the fluctuation of the mind and focuses in here and now at the present is yoga. You know. So now obviously with, you know, the mixing of cultures, you know, different people come with different feelings, so they see different things in yoga, you know. Like if someone wants to become thin, then, you know, yoga becomes only a form of exercise, you know, like aerobics or something. But when done it with the purity of, you know, what yoga actually stands for, then it becomes a way of life, it becomes a part of your meditation, part of your living process. And then that focus that you generate while doing yoga or meditation or concentrating your mind on here and now, then it has ripple effects in our daily lives, you know. Because at the end of the day we might play, you know, different roles in this world. We might be someone's father, someone's son, someone's sister, brother, you know, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend. But at the end of the day, the experiencer is us. You know? It is the spirit. And because of the spirit, we are able to project all those manifestations of ourselves. So if the spirit is understood, the source is understood, then it's easier to project what you feel in all those manifestations. You know, because you say, oh, I'm a very good homely person, but I'm a very bad boss. You know, somewhere along the line, you are only being bad. You know. because you are the experiencer.
Right.
And then what happens if I'm a very angry boss, then somewhere along the line I'll become an angry father also. You know, because
Right.
nature is inculcated like that.
Right.
Our habits become a part of ourselves.
Right.
You know, we distinguish people according to their own, you know, internal, you know, behavior.
Right.
You know? So that is basically the mind's habit. You know, no one checked me, no one told me when I was young. I could always be angry, cranky, get my
Right.
things done.
Right.
And somewhere along the line, you know, I'm 60 years old, I'm still doing that.
Very good. Well, thank you for the invitation, and we'll try. I'll
Thank
try
you
and
for
make
your
it
time
tomorrow.
too.
Thank you.
Okay.
We want to,
And it starts at 11 tomorrow, then.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
11, there'll be a lot of singing and, you know, people coming from, because people are traveling, some people are traveling from Phoenix also for the program. So say the speeches and the discourses will start close to around 12.
Okay. Okay. So 12
12 is, yeah.
is a good time to
good
come.
time.
Okay. Good.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
having us.
All right. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was nice to meet you.
I like, because I do psychotherapy,
Oh, yes.
so some of the things you've been talking about, I incorporate in my practice. It's so true what you say, how the mind works. So it was nice to hear that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jenny.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. Good to see you all. Thank you so much.
जो भी देना लगा दीजिए जल्दी। भाई जी को खिलाओ, भाई जी ने कुछ नहीं खाया।
भाई जी को खिलाना पड़ेगा।
भाई जी को मोटा बनाने पड़ेगा ना। अमेरिका में
वही ले लेंगे आप, वही तो लीजिए। भाई जी तो ज़्यादा
विभूति वाला तो भाई जी को तंग कर देते हैं और कुछ नहीं। अब खा रहे हैं तो वीडियो नहीं लेते हैं। हेलो सुल्तान। Yes, thank you. Here is Baba.
भाई
बहन को हमें क्या बेचते ना तुम्हें बेचते हैं મને જમવાનું નથી શક્તિ રાખો મહારાજને જમાડે તમે છે ને મહારાજને જમાડતી ખાના ખાતે
480 इंश्योरेंस आकर नहीं लेते भाभी जी